Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. Friday Night SmackDown is here and Survivor Series is just a week away. What angles will WWE have in store? Join us now as Wrestlelamia analyzes tonight's edition of the Blue Brand and brings you the latest wrestling news, including a change to WWE's no-release policy, the fans dump on Vince McMahon's birthday wishes to Randy Savage, Jim Ross's reaction to Full Gear's Lights Out match, a Hulk Hogan surgery update, AEW coming to Canada, the lineup for the TLC pay-per-view, and more. The good. Turning up the heat. The invasion angle stumbled on Wednesday night as it was largely ignored during NXT. However, tonight's SmackDown was something different, with the Undisputed Era showing up to lay out both the New Day and the Revival. Having several of NXT's female wrestlers show up to battle the Blue Brand's top female superstars was another good move, although the execution failed, as we'll discuss shortly, giving the fans just the right amount of action to keep them tuning in for more. A surprising start. Despite the downright dumb dog angle involving Baron Corbin, the tag match between Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler against Shorty G and Mustafa Ali was a good build-up for Shorty G and Mustafa, giving them a win to make them look worthy of representing SmackDown at Survivor Series. While Wrestlelamia hopes Roode and Ziggler's push isn't going to die on SmackDown, tonight was about building up Shorty and Mustafa, and the WWE's writers got things done. An intriguing ending. Tonight's Miz TV segment was well done and showed that while it's good to spend time building up angles, a cleverly concocted storyline can sometimes make up for lost time. Here, Bray Wyatt's challenge to Daniel Bryan touched upon a storyline the WWE has been building up over the last few weeks. What exactly is going on in Daniel Bryan's head? Turns out, Bryan truly is conflicted whether he wants to be a babyface or a heel, and like Bray Wyatt, he has some issues. Wyatt teasing that the two had unfinished business from several years back is a good way of maintaining continuity, something WWE often fails to do. Although it's difficult to say how their match will be now that The Fiend has been established as unbeatable, the storyline leading up to it is intriguing. The bad. Why we fight? Has anyone figured out 1. What's at stake for the winners of this year's Survivor Series, and 2. Why anyone cares about being on the team? With the so-called brand split and the invasion, it would add much to the storyline and rivalry if the teams had some sort of storyline incentive, whether it was a kayfabe trophy, cash prize, or title shot. This might be seen as nitpicking, since the Survivor Series rarely gives its winners incentive for winning. This year would be a good one, as it could add some intrigue to the invasion angle, unless WWE plans on dropping it. Going to the dogs. Chances are, if you've watched WWE for more than a year or two, you can tell when you're seeing a Vince McMahon-produced angle. Is there anything about this week or last week's dog-themed angles to suggest that this is going to get any better? Well, it's unlikely to get any worse. It's another example of how out of touch Vinnie Mac is with the fans' tastes. Always leave them wanting more. Tonight's showdown between some of SmackDown's best and NXT's best female competitors should have never happened. Although it was good to see WWE slowly rising the temperature on the invasion angle, having the SmackDown women defeat the NXT women took away some of the angle's momentum. A one-on-one or even a standard tag match could have built up the angle further, and a loss by either brand would have kept the angle going strong. Instead, the NXT women's division came up looking second-rate, not a good thing going into their pay-per-view showdown. The ugly. Tonight's SmackDown had some good moments, and it definitely advanced storylines going into Survivor Series. Like Raw, however, there's still the problem of the show lacking a must-see quality, and other than the invasion angle segments, there was little to get excited about. We've seen the futility of squash matches at length, and won't bother discussing Heavy Machinery's wasted match. If WWE is lucky, SmackDown will continue to get a boost in viewership from the invasion angle, but as discussed before, what will it do when the invasion angle ends? News. Change to WWE's no-release policy? The WWE has been adamant about denying superstars their releases ever since AEW announced it was going into business. However, a recent story at the Wrestling Observer suggests that could change, albeit under specific conditions. Since giving releases to Shawn Spears and Dustin Runnels, both of whom ended up having value in AEW, and Kenta, who added value to New Japan, they've stopped granting releases. However, it was noted that they may be giving releases to some people with the idea they don't believe they would be going to AEW, or if they do, wouldn't help them, and it's possible he will get his release. In WWE's case, the problem is that the wrestlers they think might not work out for AEW could be a good fit for the promotion, as AEW's booking and promo style is much more open. Which WWE wrestlers would you like to see released and go to AEW? Fans' fury on Mr. McMahon's Macho Man message. Once again proving that there's no end to the so-called wrestling fans' taste or intelligence, a number of fans responded negatively to Vince McMahon's recent tweet concerning Randy Savage's birthday. He had unabound charisma that made him one of the greatest superstars ever, remembering the #Macho Man on his birthday. The usual gang of idiots quickly bashed McMahon, commenting that Savage allegedly shagged Stephanie and asked why the WWE waited so long to induct Savage into its Hall of Fame. No wonder certain WWE superstars can't handle social media. When will Rusev fight Bobby Lashley? It looks like WWE is going with the slow burn when it comes to having the first one-on-one encounter between Bobby Lashley and Rusev. While there was talk of the two battling at Survivor Series, the Wrestling Observer is reporting that Vince McMahon thinks the show has enough matches already. There were a few changes this past week. Even though Rusev vs. Bobby Lashley has been given probably more time than any other program on either show, it will not be on the show. The feeling is that the show is overloaded because of two 3-team elimination matches that in theory would have to go 10 to 14 falls each. Lashley vs. Rusev will be on the 12/15 TLC show in Minneapolis at the Target Center. TLC lineup. It looks like we may have some hints of the matches on tap for WWE's TLC pay-per-view coming our way on 15 December from the Minneapolis Target Center. According to The Observer, the WWE sent the building a lineup. Often, if not most of the time, when WWE sends a lineup, it's just something to advertise with no intention of actually doing the matches. The WWE is notorious for changing its matches regardless of what's advertised. For now, though, it looks like Rusev will battle Lashley, and there will be a TLC match for the women's tag team titles as Becky Lynch and Charlotte take on Kairi Sane and Asuka. The third bout, Roman Reigns vs. Baron Corbin, is a rather curious one if the Observer's information proves true. It'll be a gimmick match, but the gimmick has not been decided upon. It could be tables, ladders, or chairs, but dog collar match has also been up for consideration. Jim Ross's thoughts on AEW's Lights Out match. There's no question that AEW Full Gear's unsanctioned Lights Out match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega was a brutal 40-minute affair, with some calling it an action-packed extravaganza and others nothing more than glorified backyard wrestling. Still, what does AEW announcer and longtime wrestling figure Jim Ross think of the match? Ross recently spoke with Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso about the bout. It was a different match to call. They weren't working the arm. It didn't have the standard route that a match takes. Based on the amount of legitimate physical punishment that Moxley and Kenny incurred, it may have gone a little too long. But I haven't seen two guys work any harder to get something over in years. The passion in that match was a breath of fresh air for our business. It's been years since I was this proud of two guys in a match like I am with Moxley and Kenny. I've never seen a main event like that. They should be congratulated. The effort they put forth was absolutely amazing. Ross, who has often been associated with traditional old-school wrestling, spoke of how the match fits into AEW's overall mission statement. I don't find it distasteful, I don't find it bad. We're supposed to have something for everyone, and AEW offers a variety of styles and presentations that fans are going to like. This is not a one-dimensional company. AEW coming to Canada? Canada is a big wrestling market, so it makes sense for AEW to capitalize on it. And according to the latest Wrestling Observer, it looks like Canadian fans may see live events in 2020. Those in Canada noted Khan had talked with TSN about running some shows over there. Khan said it's been talked about, but no dates are firm on the schedule. A Hulk Hogan surgery update. WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan recently underwent back surgery, with surgeons looking to fuse 6 levels together in his back. The 66-year-old wrestling legend posted an update on Twitter about his recent back surgery, along with a photo of the various screws and bolts that were in his back. According to an online report at The Sun, the Hulkster hopes the back surgery will allow him to get back into the ring one more time. I talked to Vince, and I said I really don't know if I could live with myself knowing my last match was with TNA. If I can get fixed, I pray I can have one more match. I told Vince, when I get through this back surgery, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life, and we're going to talk about me having one last retirement match. No word if the surgeons removed the various knives stabbed into Hogan's back by former tag team partners such as Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, or Brutus Beefcake. Well guys, there you have it. Wrestleamia's analysis of the 15 November SmackDown as well as all the latest wrestling news. Did you watch tonight's show? If so, what did you think? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.